A pleasant day to each and everyone. I am Baila Maydu and I am from BSCD 2A. And now, we will be discuss to you the family decision making. But before that, let me introduce to you the learning outcome. At the end of these lessons, the students can able to define family decision making, explain its importance, identify the different types of family decisions, describe the key elements of effective communication in family decision making. So let's begin with the definition. So family decision making is essentially a collaborative process. It's a communication activity where family members come together to discuss, evaluate, and choose options when faced with issues or challenges. It's about working together to find the best solution. So when we say family decision making is ito na yung usap-usapan sa bahay pag may kailangan pagdesisyonan. So like for example, kami, magbabakasyon kaming family. So syempre, hindi pwedeng bigla na lang may chosen destination. Dapat pag-usapan muna kung saan mas gusto ng lahat. So kung saan mas kaya ng budget, tapos pipili kami na lahat kami okay sa desisyon na yun. So kasi kapag sama-sama kayong nagde-decide, mas feel nyo na part kayo ng family at mas willing kayong sumuporta sa desisyon ng lahat. Kahit hindi mo naman yung first choices na. So kumbaga team effort para mas magiging okay ang lahat. So ganun. And next is why is this important? So effective family decision making strengthens family unity. It builds trust among members. So, itong effective family decision is nakakatulong talaga to para mas maging mapatibay or maging matibay ang samahan natin. Yung pagkakaisa, parang yung kapit ng bawat isa sa pamilya is mas nagiging umihigpit. So, kumbaga sa family, nakakatulong siya para mas maging matibay ang pagkakaisa. Kumbaga sa family is nakakatulong siya para mas maging matibay ang pagkakaisa at pakiramdam na ang pagiging kabilang sa pamilya. Kasi kapag nararamdaman natin na tanggap tayo or bahagi tayo ng ating pamilya is syempre, 'di ba? Masaya tayo, 'di ba? So parang buo na yung pagkatao natin at hindi na natin kailangan hanapin pa ang pagtanggap sa iba kasi nga nararamdaman na natin yung sa loob mismo ng ating pamilya. So, yun. So we have here the different types of family decisions. So first, we have syncretic decision. This is when everyone in the family makes the decision together. So ito yung type of decision na kung saan everyone in the family is actively involved and they all agree on the final outcome. So kumbaga sama-sama silang nag-uusap, sama-sama silang nagdi-decision, walang boss, walang sunod-sunuran lang. Ganun. So, nag-uusap sila hanggang magkakasundo ang lahat sa gagawin. So, parang barkada lang na nagpaplano kung saan-saan. So, yun. And then, their wife dominant, where the wife primarily makes the decision. So, dito naman is, ang nanay ang madalas masusunod sa mga decision. Pag may kailangan bibilhin, or pag may pipiliin, mas madalas na ang gusto ni nanay ang nasusunod. So, hindi naman ibig sabihin na hindi nakikinig si tatay o yung mga anak is hindi na kailangan yun. So, pero ang madalas kung ano yung gusto ni nanay, yun ang nangyayari. And husband dominant, where the husband takes the leads. So, dito ang tatay yung laging nangunguna sa paggawa ng decisions para sa pamilya. Parang wife dominant din. Hindi naman totally baliwala ang opinion ni nanay o yung mga bata, pero ang lead at ang final say is madalas galing sa tatay. So lastly is autocratic decision. So where one family member makes the decision with limited input from others. So dito naman is isang member lang ng family ang isang magdesisyon. So, pwedeng si nanay, si tatay, o kahit yung mas nakakatandang kapatid, basta siya lang yung magsasabi kung ano ang gagawin.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I am Almira Kalipa. This is my report is talk about identify the different types of family decision. So there are four main types of family decisions, each involving different members of the family depending on the situation. First is consensual decisions, made when all family members agree after discussing the issues. So, example nito is a choosing a vacation and destination together. Second is accommodation decisions, made when some members give in to others to avoid conflict. Example is letting the eldest sibling choose what to watch on TV to keep peace. So, third is de facto decisions. Made without deliberate planning, decisions just happen due to circumstances. Example naman is eating fast food because there's no time to cook. And for last is autonomic decision made independently by one family member without input from others. So, ito naman yung as teenager deciding what clothes to wear or what hobby to pursue. And last topic is, here are the key elements of effective communication in family decision making. So, number one is active listening. Each member listen carefully and respectfully to others' opinions without interrupting. So, ito yung pakikinig ng mabuti. Mahalaga na bawat isa ay marunong makinig ng maayos at may respeto sa opinyon ng iba, na hindi sumasabat o nang huhusga. So, number two is clarity and honesty. Expressing thoughts, feelings, and needs clearly and truthfully helps avoid misunderstandings. Ito naman yung is kalinawan at katapatan. Dapat malinaw at tapat ang pagsasabi ng saloobin at nararamdaman, pati ang pangangailangan para maiwasan ang hindi pagkakaintindi. And so number three is respect and empathy. Valuing each other's viewpoints and trying to understand how others feel strengthens family bonds. So, ito yung paggalang at pag-unawa. Igalang ang opinyon ng bawat isa at sikaping intindihin ang pinanggagalingan ng damdamin ng iba. Ito rin ang nagpapalalim ng samahan sa pamilya. So, number 4 is open-mindedness. Being willing to consider different ideas and compromise when necessary. Ito naman yung bukas na isipan, maging handang makinig sa iba't ibang idea at matuto tayong magkompromismo kapag may kailangan or kapag kailangan. So, number 5 is share participation, involving all concerned members in the decision-making process, encourage unity and fairness. So, ito yung tinatawag na samang-samang pakikilahok or sama-sama sa pakikilahok. Mahalaga na lahat na nang may kinalaman ay may boses sa decision or pantay-pantay at walang lamangan. So, number 6 is conflict resolution skills, handling disagreements calmly and constructively helps the family reach a decision without arguments. Ito yung kakayahan sa pag-ayos ng alitan. Kapag may hindi pagkakaunawaan, mahalaga rin ang mga hinahong pag-uusap at pagresolba or nang walang sigawan or samaan ng loob. And the last number is non-verbal cues. Handling disagreements calmly and constructively helps the family reach a decision without arguments. Ito yung pag-unawa sa hindi sinabi. Hindi lang sa salita ang komunikasyon, pati kilos or sa tono ng boses at ekspresyon ng muka ay mahalagang bigyang nating pansin.
That's all.